Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome to part 14 of Season 2 of our Snooker 19 career mode with Neil Robertson and of course part 83 of the total series. It has been a real long one and I really hope you guys are excited and as excited as me to see this series back. It has been weeks and weeks and weeks, at least 5 or 6 weeks since the last video on snooker and I can only apologise. A number of things I've played into that, my frustration with the Masters final, given that we had the silly problem with the match having to be restarted, etc, etc. And that really put me off. And then we had the Football Manager 2020 release, and ultimately I just haven't had the time to put snooker into the schedule. But I thought this weekend, I just can't leave snooker out anymore. There's lots of you that come to watch the snooker content only, and it's just unfair for you guys to miss out. Plus the fact, I really want to get back into the snooker stuff. The UK Championships, of course, start today on BBC, which I'm really excited to see, all of which I can see, because I do work now 9 to 5, unfortunately. But we are back. I can't promise anything in terms of a schedule. I hope that we should be releasing snooker content on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Saturday, but that is more of a hope than a promise. So if the videos don't come as planned, I do apologise for that, but I will work as hard as I can to get those videos out. So it's been a while, so let's remind ourselves where we are. Of course, in the last episode, we played in the final of the Shanghai Masters against Mark Selby and lost. If I remember rightly, it was 11-6, 11-7. No, it was best of 19, so it must have been, I think it was 10-6, I think, against Mark Selby, if I remember. Anyway, the point is, we lost against Mark Selby. If it was 11-something or 10-something, I'm not really bothered. We got to the final of that event after quite a poor start to the season. What we wanted to do in the Shanghai Masters is just see if we could really do it against the best, get our confidence up, and then get into the really important part of the season, the English Open, the Oppos, which is of course our first final from last year. So this event that we're competing in now, it holds a real place in my heart. The first final we got to on Snooker 19, and then the next few tournaments: Champion of Champions, Northern Ireland Open, Betway UK's. The list goes on in terms of the importance, and that was really to build confidence for that. But as you can see, and don't worry, you haven't missed an episode, we're already out of the English Open, and that is because, hopefully I'll show a screenshot of it now, we actually lost out to Alan McManus, and I don't really know how it happened. We didn't play our best. Obviously, I haven't played the game for a few weeks, so I've gone back in terms of stature on the game slightly, but my God, we weren't very good. We gave Alan McManus plenty of chance, and to be fair, he deserved it, so we crashed out of the English Open at the last 64 stage. That's why I'm bringing in the Oppos today, not the English Open. And after all this means that we've actually dropped to 10th in the rankings, which is a real concern for the likes of the Champion of Champions, because I do believe that we have to go through, not a qualifying round, but a first round if we're outside the top 8 in the rankings to get through to that second round. We don't have the elusive kind of top 8 bye, if you like, into that second round. I mean, there's not much between us and Kyron Wilson in 7th, it has to be said, maybe only £30,000. But as is the problem now, there's a real jump between us and then the John Higgins, Ronnie, Mark Williams and Judd Trump group, and Mark Selby's just far and away above. I can't believe Ronnie's down to 5th, by the way, that's ridiculous. But we're down to 10th at the moment, and this tournament is a real good opportunity to arrest the slump. We're back on hard, pro, match length at medium, so a best of 5 frames. Play against Sonny Akani in today's match in the Oppo International Championship, a player I don't think we've played on camera before, so I'm excited to play the Thai player on camera, and fingers crossed, for the first episode, the comeback of Snooker 19, hopefully we can register a win. Now, I know I've made you wait, but one thing would be really nice. If you enjoy, and if you're excited to see the comeback of Snooker 19, please leave a like on this video. I'm sure that the Snooker 19 rankings on YouTube are a little bit confused at the moment, because I know my good friend Captain Goodspeed is still producing content, but apart from that, I don't think there's many people producing content. So it would be great if you guys leave a like on this video if you enjoy. It seriously does help. It really does help. You might think, oh, it doesn't really matter, but leave a like. If you enjoy and you're signed into YouTube, leave a like. It really does make the world of difference. It only takes a few seconds. But that is the shameless self-promotion done, and it's time to get into the snooker. And the first break-off is from Sonny Akani himself. And it's not a bad break-off, certainly. And it really isn't. So what we're going to do is just play into the reds, I think. And this is it's really weird commentating on this again. It feels really bizarre because all I've been commentating on is football for the last few weeks. And that's a little bit hard. What I do like on this new snooker update is that they have introduced percentages in terms of not just percentiles of 1%, so 10%, 11%, 12%. They've actually introduced those small percentiles of 12.1, 12.2, 12.3. So you can be really precise with your shots. And I just love that improvement. It's really nice. But with that shot then, Sonny has opened the reds up, but unfortunately not really giving us a chance that I can see to get anywhere near a pot. So we're just going to play a safety here. Just play nice and soft, nice and thin on this red, and hopefully get this back up to the bulk. I mean, there's not going to be too much risk with this unless we make a real mistake, because we couldn't do anything. And that should be a fairly good safety if it stops fairly soon, because most of the balls are going to be hard to get to, purely because the pink or the blue are going to be there. But that being said, we'll find out what Sonny Akani does now. Just checking the game audio's all there. To be fair, I haven't done a test now. I haven't recorded my Xbox gameplay for a few weeks, so hopefully everything's tickety-boo. Fingers crossed it is. But yeah, again, Sonny Akani, very good safety shot from him there. Certainly taking no prisoners at the start of this match, he is. Ooh, hello. That's a bit of a chance. And I think it's one that might be worth taking at this point. Of course, the whole problem with the format, let's just have a look at how this shot goes before I start rambling. It's a good shot, it's a pot, but the problem is I miscalculated the position quite considerably there. So I'm just going to play a safety on the black, try and get it behind the black. It's not going to be as easy as it seems.
If he plays this shot well, he'll have his opponent in a spot of bother.
That's not bad. Certainly take that. And we have got Sonny in the snooker, but as I was just saying, the problem, of course, for a best of 5, it's a completely different problem to the endurance snooker, as I like to call it. It's that you have to be awake, you have to be up and ready in every frame, because every frame matters so much, particularly in this short format. In long formats, okay, the game can quickly drift away from you, but you have that 2 or 3 frames just to get adjusted into things, and you can form a comeback. In this, if you go 2-0 down, it's really 1 frame or bust, basically. If you go and lose another frame, I'm afraid your journey in whatever competition you're in is over. So it's really important to be awake, alert, etc. And hopefully we can win our first frame back on YouTube. But I was really disappointed about the English Open not getting through to the big rounds of this English Open, because it's a big competition, of course, even for Robbo, who's an Aussie. And we've actually got 2 reds for the price of 1 there, and got unbelievably unlucky, it seems, with that split, because I don't think we've got much of a chance here of doing anything. Yes, it is me signed in. I don't know why it's done that. But we've got unbelievably unlucky. I mean, do we risk that? I think we do. I think we do risk that. Just make sure that we don't pot the cue ball. This is going to be a tight one.
But a half chance.
I mean, it wasn't that far off. I can take that, because it's not left too much open. And if that pink just keeps rolling a little bit more, it wouldn't have been far off getting that top right pocket. But as I've said, my snooker hasn't been the best. Been a little bit sloppy. We've had time off, and snooker is one of those that's really just all about momentum, getting into the game and getting confident, really. And again, I suppose with updates to the game as well, since I've last played, there could be differences in how the physics are. You just simply don't know. And admittedly, only by playing a few frames against Alan McManus, it is tricky to tell what's going on. We did have to qualify for this competition, though, like everybody else, through 2 qualifying rounds. Was it 2 or was it 1? I think it was 2 qualifying rounds for this tournament. But nevertheless, we did qualify. And this is, I think I'm right in saying, the last 64. No, it must have only been 1 qualifying round. And I don't think Sonny Akani would have got through to the last 32. No disrespect to him. But it usually is at the rankings between sort of 20 and 40 in the last 32. So I don't think he's got through to the last 32. I might be wrong. But with a break of 14, that's the end of break for him. And that is pretty unfortunate. A bit of a cannon off the red there. It touched the red, and that was awfully unfortunate. And it is a very nice chance for us now to redeem ourselves from that little break we had earlier and see how we get on.
Not an easy one, but
not easy, these aren't. Don't be fooled. That's a decent pot. It's gone a little bit too far for the black of my liking, but actually that's not too bad. It's just our chances to put anything else. You know what I'm like? I'd rather go for a yellow and make sure we're on for another pot than go for a fancy black and then make our position and make our job really hard, ultimately. But that being said, even if we go for the yellow, our job's going to be fairly hard. So I'm going to go black or bust. You know what word I'd like to insert there, but it's a family-friendly channel, so I'm going to go with black or bust, and the black is there. Although that does look eerily close. It is going to stop quite a way before it gets to that top left pocket, but even still, that was a little bit too close for my liking. But we didn't do badly there, because that's a fairly easy pot, I would argue. on the red. And we can set ourselves up for black again. Get a little bit straighter on it. And see if we can open up position for another red after this. I'm already loving snooker being back. I have to say, it's been way too long. The weeks just drift away, unfortunately.
9.
May even be longer than 6 weeks. I honestly don't know. I couldn't tell you how long it's been. All I do know is that, of course, it's been way too long. I'm going to go with the blue here. Just so position's a little bit better. It's going to be a bit awkward, though, to get the position I want. And if we start buggering about with side, then we get a different issue. I think I'm okay with that.
Well, I'm not surprised he's taking on the long pot here.
And that's there.
Simply wonderful.
And hopefully this red should be on. Looks like it is. It was a lot straighter, and you just don't want to take the risk sometimes. Particularly when you are a bit bereft of confidence, admittedly losing to Alan McManus. Although Alan McManus is a good player, ultimately it is a match that we should be winning. So that's a clear dent to our confidence. And sometimes, particularly when you're not very confident, you just don't take those shots on. Because you think, well, what's the point? We're going to take the blue on, though, and try and split these two reds here. Maybe it didn't work out too badly, actually. That red will go. But the better opportunity is this one. I mean, as you can see, it's pretty much dead straight. That's a very nice shot. It is a bit of a risk going for the screw back here if we played this too hard, because it would just go into the bottom pocket. But we've got away with it. And we're not going to go for the black, actually. We're going to go for the blue. And again, I just prefer to screw back than get the top spin. I think that there's a lot more, I'd like to say, a lot more certainty with backspin. Although, yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to see if we can, it's going to be tight, but we've got to tackle it at some point, and there's no time like the present to do it, to tackle this red into the middle pocket, although admittedly that's going to be a very, very tricky angle now. I want to get a lot more dead straight on it. So the really only opportunity here is going to be this red, which again comes with its own issues. That is pretty tight. But let's see if we can do it. Good pot. I'm happy with that. And it comes back up the table. And we'll have to see how this reacts with the yellow. Looks like we'll have to go for the yellow rather than the blue, which I was going to suggest. But yeah, we'll take... Or even what we could do at this point is take the pink on. I'm glad I looked at the pink, because that seems the most easy shot, and in fact it's not bad for position either on this red. Just try and get it fairly adjacent to it on the cushion so that we can simply play it along the cushion down to the bottom pocket. I think that's going to be a lot easier to try and nudge it into that middle pocket, because the middle pocket is enough for nightmare as it is, I think it's fair to say. All I will say though is at least if we do miss this, it doesn't leave too much on, because those 3 reds on the other cushion are going to be a little bit of a hassle, but that is a very nice pot. No mucking about there, and we look good to win this first frame back, which is good to see. Got to play with a bit of side though here, just to try and change things a little bit and potentially get on one of these reds. Good pot. How are we looking positionally? Not great. A little bit unfortunate. A little bit harder. We would have been okay. 40 ahead. We can afford to play the safety here, can't we? And fortunately, if we just do this nice and carefully, we should just miss the blue. We do. That's up the table. And I'm happy with that. There's no pot on, really. They all conflict with each other, and I'm satisfied with that. And as you can see, we've nearly won the frame. 40 ahead we are with 51 remain. He's just touched 2 of the reds, which he gets a little bit unlucky with, because if that went a little bit further, he'd have got potentially a snooker behind the green, which put us in a real spot of bother. Because as you probably know, if you're a past viewer of the series, I'm not great at getting out of snookers. I thought I was going to miss that for a second there. That's why I panicked. But it goes without saying, I suppose there could be new people watching the series. There's been new people come to the channel, A, with snooker, and B, with the release of Football Manager. So if I am being really rude and making assumptions that you are already a member of the channel, I do apologise for that. But there's plenty of snooker content to go and watch from the past. We've got 80 odd episodes, as I alluded to at the start of the episode, from the series. Most of those in Series 1. We've had 13 parts in this second series so far. And I might well, if there are new people, just give me a shout in the comments. And in the next few episodes, I'm more happy to do a review of the season so far. Because I do realise that it has been a bit of a stretch since the last episode. So it wouldn't harm anybody, I don't think, especially me, just to go back and look at what we've done this season and last, because of course the memory isn't that good sometimes that you can remember everything that happened, and I think just rejogging that certainly doesn't hurt, but unless there's a real calamity now, we should be okay in this first frame. Just get our experience up in clearing the colours, that's what I'd say, because that's going to be the most important thing, particularly in tight games. Not necessarily in this one. I think that without being disrespectful at all to Sonny, I think we should be able to get through this. Well, I wouldn't say not with relative ease, but I think with some ease we should be able to get through this game if we play and just be sensible rather than whack the ball about, which I think I am guilty of doing a little bit off camera sometimes, going for quickness and getting on with it rather than the precision that you do sometimes see on camera. But I think we should be okay against Sonny today. But as I've just said, this technique of clearing up the colours, it's going to be more important than ever, particularly in those tight matches. And if we want to get up to the top 6 again, that's exactly what we're going to need in tight games. Never going to be a walkover against these big boys. And that's not the best position on the blue. I was looking to be a bit straighter on it, but I think it's still fine. And let's see if we can clear up here. Bit of a nice voice break there. Behind the scenes with Toby's voice breaks. Oh dear. It's a bit straighter on the pink, I can deal with that. And actually marries itself up quite nicely for position on the black, so I'm quite happy with that. Get fairly behind the black, fairly close to the other pocket. But get nice and straight with it. That makes a little bit of an easier shot. That needs to keep coming. No, I'm absolutely fine with that. That's just about where I wanted it. I don't think we could complain about it being any higher or lower to the table. Just a nice soft shot now. And that is the first frame over, and we've won the first frame. And I think throughout the frame, I think you saw me progress quite a bit actually. Bit nervous at the start of the frame, but we don't look too bad. It's going to be our first break off. Now, we did start playing these breaks a little bit harder, didn't we? Maybe a little bit conservative, but not too much. And let's see how we get on. I mean, it doesn't look too bad at all. That's going to be fairly close to the yellow. Just a shame we couldn't quite get it behind it. It was just a tad too hard to get it behind the yellow, and he does have a chance with this opening red now. Again, 1 or 2% softer, or the angle a little bit different. He'll be behind the yellow, but sometimes that's down to luck. And I have to say that Sonny Akani has really played a poor shot there. So what we're going to do is actually I was going to play it into the reds, but I think what we are going to do, we're just going to get this up and down the table. Although that's just stupid. That was a silly shot. I should just go in my instinct. I didn't think that one red would travel, admittedly. But that's given him a real chance now. We played well last frame, but clearly not at the start of this one. But he's not bothered to take it on, and that's really peculiar. Because we can, I mean, it's a bit of a tight one, but I think we can still pot this. We're certainly going to give it a go anyway. And that is a pot. That's very peculiar, I have to say, from the tie player. I don't really get that at all. His way of thinking there. Maybe he wasn't confident enough to take it on. Who knows? But oh, I hate this. It's like it must be like a glitch in the game. What on earth is he? That's it. That's a right pot. That is bloody hell. But yeah, it seems to be a bit of a glitch in the game. That sometimes it won't recognise. I mean, that's a shocking bloody green. It sometimes won't recognise that you basically it'll sense that you're pushing the right stick forward when you're clearly not, and that's why it's took that shot there. I don't know why it did, but a very bizarre one. And I've considered a few fouls through that, and of course in tight frames that could make a real difference. So we've just got to be careful we don't play anything too fast. But I think sometimes if you get in the flow of things, it's very easy to play things a little bit too fast. That red's going to be close to going in. We got away with that one a little bit. Goodness me. But yeah, we need to just make sure we keep an eye on that, because that could be a real problem, particularly in tight games. Again, I don't know if it's a glitch or one of my problems. I don't know. But this is going to be a bit of a problem. This is going to be a tight one if we're going to get it in as well. That's going to be very tight. It's just pot luck here, really. It'll be so tight. We're about there. We'll have to see how we get on. We're going to play it with not a lot of pace, give the ball every chance. And that is a very nice pot, although unfortunately, because we hit one of the reds coming through, we've not really been gifted any sort of position, so that's a little bit unfortunate.
He's looking to pop this into the left
I
corner.
don't really fancy my chances here, and it didn't really go well. And that doesn't look good. Oh, I mean, we get away with the fact the ball didn't go in. I don't know what was worse, the ball not going in, or giving position for the red. And this has been scrappy so far. It's not a foregone conclusion that we're going to win this match. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a few episodes to get back in the swing of things, definitely. Which adds a bit of an extra dimension to things, I suppose. Unbelievable, there's only been 10 points scored each, by the way, this frame. Sonny Akani takes the lead for now, anyway. Goodness me, I thought that might have gone into the pocket.
7.
That green didn't really help him there, did it? Get another voice break. Goodness me, what's going on? Doesn't look too bad, though, here, Sonny. Red still needs to be developed, but he could get a frame back.
15.
He's taking on the pot along the cushion.
Those are a lot harder than it seems, you know.
16.
Especially if the cue ball's below the red. It can be very tight down there sometimes. The black for him wouldn't be too negative, though, here. Anybody else notice, like, the blue glint from the... Blue tint, not glint. The blue tint from the black. I presume that's the lights over the table, but... Interesting. Yeah, it's still there. I don't know if that's just my... Because I've got glasses, you know, see. Not prescription glasses, but they are... I wouldn't even say designer glasses. Oh my god, what happened there? I don't even know which ball he went for goodness sake. That was a disaster. But yeah, I've got new glasses that are kind of like anti-blue, so again, I don't know if it's just me getting all confused, but this is a tricky shot. We're going to take it on nonetheless, and that was fairly close to going all wrong. And it certainly was. He went all wrong with that yellow and green. It was a shot I thought, well... going to pot this, so like you do, you just keep on talking, because there's no point going, oh, is he going to pot it, when you think, well, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. But he missed it, and that was a bit of a shock, but we've got a nice black there, and hitting that red isn't going to harm us whatsoever.
8.
And hopefully we can go from here. I think we can not necessarily clean up the whole table from here, but I do think that we can go and win the frame from here. Of course, we play our cards right. It's not, and I'm going to say it for like the third time in 2 minutes, it's not a foregone conclusion. I think there are just certain words as a creator, you know. It must be the same as a commentator, I suppose. That's technically what we are. There must be times when you just get a word in your head and you can't stop using it. And clearly today, that is the words foregone conclusion, or phrase rather, not word. A phrase or a word in your head you can't get rid of. And as I've said, I'm not going to say the word again.
No problem there.
Back to the snooker anyway.
17.
You guys love my rambles anyway, don't you? Yellow's going to be a little bit tricky, but let's see how we go. Not that confident in that, but it's definitely the easiest shot, but positionally, it's not going to be helpful. So this green is a little bit harder, a little bit trickier to pot because it's along the cushion. As you can see, the angle is fairly tight, but the rewards would be a lot more, and I think that should be okay, and it is. Good stuff. The colour's really all out of position because of Sonny's shot earlier, to be honest. So what we're going to do first off is line the yellow up to go back for position.
He's on the green.
And see what the position will be like on a red. That won't be too bad, I'll be happy with that. As long as it does go the distance. Sometimes it goes a little bit under the distance, you have a real problem. That doesn't look too bad. It certainly doesn't. Don't want it right on the cushion, and in fact that's exactly what it's going to do. Just bounce off the cushion, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. As long as we play this soft.
Well, he's taking it on,
and I suppose the most important thing is that we play it accurately. That's what matters above else. I don't know why this keeps... I mean, look at the cue's gone into the cushion. That's interesting.
He really looks in fine
Oh
form at the
dear.
moment.
Right, let's play the black. Get the 7 points. We'll be 11 points ahead with 27 remaining. And as long as we get the next few colours, we have the chance of having a good Grand Slam against Sonny Akani, which would be a great confidence boost in the first episode coming back. I've hit that a little bit too hard. Wants to be straight on the yellow, but that's not going to be a problem because the angle is still fairly achievable.
Just the colours to go.
That's the position that's the hardest bit from here. But we don't look too bad. We don't look in too bad shape. That brown is going to be a little bit of an issue, isn't it? Goodness me. But we will be. What will be ahead here? I'm just going to try and nudge this black if it's all possible. Yeah, we'll be 16 ahead with 22 to play for. It's just a case of trying to get this brown moved somehow. It's not really done me any favours, that hasn't. We can try and pot it.
36.
Or we can try and get a safety, which is going to be fairly tricky whatever we do. We'll try that. Try and get it behind the...
required now.
I know it's not going to go. We'll try and get it behind the pink, though, and that is exactly what we've done. That is a very nice safety. I like that.
Neil Robertson.
Good thinking. I think he might just concede there, you know. No, he's going to try and get out of it. Fair enough. And he does hit the brown. And that is not a bad escape, actually, you know. So we're just going to play up to the brown. That's all we really can do. It's the lowest risk shot, I would say, as long as we do hit the brown, which we do. And at the angle it is, it's certainly not potable. So let's see what he does from here. Oh, I feel for him. I really do. That could have been a lovely shot. But let's just be careful here, because this sort of shot can go disastrously wrong.
So he just needs the brown.
But I think it should be okay. Just need the brown. And that is there. But, let's have a look at position on the blue. We could be snookered here. Could have snookered ourselves. Can we just get to the edge of it? No. Well, we've mucked that one up, so to speak. Softer, and which is what we usually go for with this. And we would have been fine. But of course, the issue now of making sure we hit this and not potting the cue ball. It's going to be a tricky one. We've got to be accurate. No, we've hit the pink. I mean, we hit the blue in the end. But it looks like that, especially the way the blue's going here, that Sonny Akani is going to win the frame.
Intended, and to be honest,
You see, 6 points is the foul there for illegal contact.
Neil Robertson, 4.
So really, that was all our own doing.
5.
Not the easiest shot on the pink here. I think he should be able to achieve it.
like he's trying to get the cue
Oh, he's just going to try and play it safe, is he? Interesting.
Sonny Akani, 5.
I suppose the risk would have been too much, wouldn't it, to go for the pot. But I'm going to go for it. That on the cushion.
You'll need some luck here.
So
Well,
close, but he's missed it.
We've missed it. Have we really got away with that? No. We've lost the frame, folks. That was a little bit silly.
6.
That was stupid. Hero or zero moment, wasn't it, really? Well,
30. And the frame, Sonny Akani.
it's how tight a frame can be.
That's the frame in the bag.
It's how tight a frame can be
There's nothing
sometimes.
between these two players at the moment. A fascinating contest.
Yes, this is really close, with neither player being able to break.
And now we
free.
move into the third frame.
Thank you.
I mean, I did get a little bit complacent there because I thought, oh, we can maybe get a grand slam here, but not what I mean by a grand slam. I don't know why I'm using the term grand slam because that's just wrong. What I meant was I thought we could get a 3-0 win against Sonny here after the first frame, but frames are decided by fine margins, and that frame showing no different really. So we've got to get our backsides into gear and get 2-1 up here because that's exactly what Alan McManus did, and it was really a uphill struggle from there. And the pressure is certainly on you. I don't care what anybody says. If you are behind and you do need, you know, whatever situation you're in, whether it's 2-1 or 10-8, if it was a best of 21, of course. But that wasn't the best shot in the world. Although it's a bit of a sacrifice for
Well, he's taking the red on.
just making sure he gets that red and nothing else. Although he's opened up the reds, but crucially he's missed the pot. He's got very lucky there because that was, well, it wasn't a great shot, was it? But ultimately, he hadn't opened anything up for us. That would be lovely if it ends up behind the green. It does give an opportunity to pot this red that is pretty much, I'd say, parallel to it on the table. Pretty much bang on straight to it. But I think it does rule out the option of him going for any of the other reds, which would be straighter options, of course, for the pot. So not a bad shot there, and not too bad. But actually, you can go for that one, and he's potted it. Well,
1.
that's told me. Position, though, not so great again here. He's going to try for the black. He's just going to play a positional safety shot on that.
1.
And this isn't the best for us, is it really, here? It has to be said. I'm going to try and bring this off the cushion, because I think this would be the best option here. See how we get on this time. Ah, computer says no.
That's a poor shot, really.
It is a poor shot, I agree. When you're out of practice with these things, it does make it very hard to judge. But again, doesn't open too much up. Just opens that one red, which he might go for, he might not. He hasn't had a long, hard think about this, though.
He's going for the left corner pocket.
1.
And it is there. Is the black on? I can't tell. Can he get? I think he can get that to the middle pocket. But of course, the lower colours are available. That includes the blue. But only really one red on here, whatever he does, because you can't get to a situation here where both reds are going to be on, if that makes sense. The 2 free reds, unless you are, I suppose, about in the position you are now, funnily enough.
8.
And yeah, he's elected for the one that's nearest the pink, after potting that black. Is this start of a good break for Sonny Akani?
9.
And I dread to say it, a comeback, which sees Sonny get into the next round and we don't, but that's a little bit too tame. More aggressive would have been the aim there, and he's done that this time, but I don't really think it's him that's going to benefit unless he's played a good safety, which he has. You could argue he's got a little bit lucky there, but I'm not going to argue anything. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Even if we play a safety here, we're not really going to get safe, are we? Let's be honest. But that's exactly what we're going to do, because I can't think of anything else. And if it's up in the bulk, it's always got a chance. If it's stopped there, that'd be great, but it's a little bit too far. The reds could block each other here, potentially, but no. Route straight through to that red, and he's got the pot. We've not played our best snook here, it has to be said. Especially after that first frame. But you go through runs like this, especially if you haven't played the game for a while. And hopefully we can get our way through it and fight our way through this.
9.
And fingers crossed go and get through to the next round. Because if we lose this match, and then going to the champion of champions, it's not exactly the best luck, is it? By the way, you've been out in 2 second rounds in a row. Oh, thanks very much for reminding me. But no, that's not going to happen. Believe in yourself, Toby. Come on, Sonny, you're attacking the Michael a bit here. How much do I might have to have a look at the football scores. I think he's potted that red. Blue's on now. Fair to say nothing near a century break so far. Certainly not from me, anyway.
Nicely onto a red.
Sheffield United 2-0 up, bloody hell.
18.
Great to hear. Can tell I'm not a United fan.
23.
No points, no pot for us so far this frame. Sonny Akani very much in control, it seems, at the moment. And fair play to him. Be a real uphill struggle if he goes and wins this frame. Of course, that means we need to go and get the next 2.
31.
But he's playing some good snooker. He's overdone that though, I'd say. On the black. Could be a problem. Clearly not though. Good pot.
39.
I wouldn't have been brave enough to take that on the cutback. Probably because I would have missed. And it looks like it, well, it's in 2 visits, isn't it, really? It looks like in 2 visits he's going to win this frame without us really having any chance. Oh, he's nearly potted the red when he was going for the black. That would have been crucial. But with 5 reds to go, the gap certainly can't be that much in terms of the difference between him winning the match. Not winning the match, goodness me. Between winning the frame and us being able to come back. But he's having to think about this. Does he try and tap this one into the middle? No, he doesn't. He leaves that free. He's going for that red. But that is a bizarre shot to go for there. It really is. And with 67 remaining, we do have a chance here to get back into this frame.
1.
Not the best at all, really, from Sonny Akani there. And he played with side, and I don't particularly know why. Good shot though there.
Well played.
We're not going to do anything stupid. I.e., we're not going to play that red into the middle pocket, because that's just the sort of thing that, in the form we're in the moment, that is going to go wrong. I can just visualise it now. So we're going to leave that one till we get a more comfortable position. I think that's fair enough. Moment, just make sure we keep picking these off. We want to marry up the reds with blacks if we can.
16.
Or pinks, really, at least. We are going to have to be forced to go to the pink here. Not a terrible one though, is it really?
17.
Didn't really think that one through. And got that ready still there on the middle pocket. In fact, it's a tricky pot. I'd say it's too tricky, especially with the pink now there. Very much impossible. Like I've said, this is the type of pot which in our current form could well go wrong. But it's dropped, so I'm happy with that. This would be even better if it comes back up. That really wasn't an intended consequence, but a lovely shot to play it back onto the black. As I said, it wasn't an intended one from us there, but I'll certainly take it. Although we have got to get back onto the red. And I do worry that whatever we do here, really, there's going to be a bit of a problem. Especially with the pink being there. Can't do much about the pink being there, I know, but yeah, see how we get on. Let's play the pink and then screw back, aren't we? And just hope the pink doesn't get in the way of potting the red. Pink's there, that's the most important thing first off. I think we should be fine. Yep, we are. Did well there. So 2 pinks, 2 blacks. We've given up 2 points. But hopefully this should be a black. Depends what the angle is. Not the best angle ever. So I'm happy to give up another 2 points here. We've given up 2 points, 4 points, 6 points was the gap. So, okay, we'd still be absolutely fine to pull off a comeback in this frame. Need to pot everything though here. That's the important thing. That's a good blue to start us off. Of course, that was the best real pot to get us into position for the yellow. That's why I played it.
Just the colours now.
Oh, for God's sake. It's happened again. I don't know if it's a glitch or something I'm doing. I really don't, but... I mean, that's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. That can lose your frames. And it has here. You can lose your matches.
14.
You know, you imagine in a final frame showdown for the World Championships, a best of 35, and it's 17 each, and you're going for the last black. You need the last black, and that happens.
20.
Well, we have to play with it now. Sonny Akani wins the 3rd frame after... I think we would have won that.
So, a
Goodness
one-frame
sake.
advantage. He'll be looking to build more pressure on his opponent.
I said we've got to take care, but you just get into a rhythm, don't you? You really do.
Robertson to break.
But we've got to fight back. We're 2-1 down. That's really frustrating me. We can't let it get to us. Can't. Just can't let it get to us. If we're going to win this match, we need to play a 5th and final frame. Ay, ay, ay. Do have a chance here. Good one at that.
Half a chance here. That's an excellent.
There we go. It's a good start. I'll take that. It was a confident one. We certainly needed confidence to play it, but that position is not marvellous. Although, to be fair, it's ended up quite decently on the brown. I'll take that every day of the week. Even on a Sunday. Don't like Sundays.
He's looking at the pot into the left.
Certainly won't like this Sunday if we go and lose this. Oh, for crying out loud. I should just go back to playing Football Manager, shouldn't I? I don't look like much of a Burke then, do I? Deary me. Apologies about that, folks. Bit of an interruption there. There's chips down here if you want some. I'll need more than bloody chips if it ends like this. Oh dear. Just too many mistakes, ultimately, so far. But if we go out of this, I mean, well...
6.
What can you say, really? Now just been told it's 2-0 to Sheffield United, which I'm chuffed about. I really am. But I already know. I'm not so chuffed about how this game seems to be going here, though.
15.
I mean, two key opportunities. English Open and the Opera International Championship. But we could be out of both. It is our fault. You can go... well, I could say, well, it's that glitch. Don't know if it's a glitch or not.
That's a top shot. Well,
But even so, Sonny Akani still had to pot the balls, hasn't he?
Very nicely.
21. 22.
We'll get better. It's not all over yet. That's what I'm doing my farewell speech for. Things will be alright. Champion of champions, if we are out here, I think Champion of Champions will give us a good
27.
kick up the backside. It's an invitational event, so no ranking points associated with it, so that's alright.
33.
And then we'll be looking forward to the Northern Ireland Open after that. But if we are going to get into that top 8,
Decent position to take
and
on a
especially the
challenge
top 6, we need to clean our act up. But let's be fair, we've been off the game for a few weeks, a lot of weeks actually, and it does take time to get up to the level I was. And we haven't been that level today.
41.
And it will take time to get back there. And really, consistent content is the way to do that. But not too marvellous if this is the end result.
Nicely
Sonny will
played
be
onto
chuffed.
a red.
But a bit of a downward spiral for us at the moment, which isn't great. Let's see if it finishes like this. And if you are here, did you predict it would finish like this? You probably did, didn't you? Let's be honest.
48. 55.
But a 55 break, he's certainly done well here.
56.
Just 4 more reds left, so certainly not long till he will win this match. Goodness me, have to go 1-0 up as well. I mean, I think that one frame could have swung if we didn't. I keep moaning, didn't I? I mean, we should have won the match, ultimately, by our own rights, not by blaming, well, we had a bit of an issue with that,
70.
with that glitch with the analog stick. But even so,
Don't see any problems here.
we lost the frame for mucking up position on the pink. Because for the blue, sorry, because we snookered ourselves on the pink. But as you can tell now, Sonny Akani is a long way away. Couldn't even get a ton here, and I'd like him to. He's played well today. Didn't really play well the first few frames as well as us, but ultimately this frame he's been on top. He's apart from the one red, he's cleared the table,
Easy with the rest.
and he's certainly looked decent. But he's missed the red, but we're not going to continue because we're 35 remaining, and we're 82 behind. And that means that Sonny Akani wins the second round of the Oppo International Championships, a tournament we got to the final of last year. But this year, we have been nowhere. As you can see, 100 odd points for us, and we're out to the World Snooker International Championships. Not the best way to come back to Snooker 19, but it'll come. I'm not worried. We've got to be positive. Bit of a slump, but let's see how we get on. So let's advance, shall we? The new champion, Mark Selby, won the last tournament as well. Ridiculous. 4,000 we earned there. And next up is the Champion of Champions, and we're going to play against... Oof. Hello and welcome to the Champion of Champions. That's a kick in the arse, isn't it? I said we had to play in round 1 because we are outside the top 8 now. And we're playing against Mark Williams first off, the Welsh potting machine. If you are looking forward to that, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe for regular Snooker 19 content. As I've just said, well, not as just said, I said at the start of the video, hopefully we should get that video on Wednesday, but no promises about that. But you'll have to see how we go. If you are excited, as I've said, about the return of Snooker 19, leave a like down below, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for regular Snooker 19 content. Thank you all so much for your support so far in the series. I'm really glad to be back, and hopefully regular content will come from now on. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye for now.